Hello students, in this session I will be covering Annamalai University Master of Commerce MCOM first year subject Human Resource Management. In this session I will be covering Unit 2, Lesson 5 to 8. Lesson 5, Human Resource Planning. Meaning, what do you mean by human resource planning? Planning about the human resource requirement of an organization, okay, or having a foresight or into the future, how much human resource required in an organization is known as human resource planning. Advanced planning of or future planning of the human resource requirements in an organization or for an organization. Let's see, human resource planning may be viewed as foreseeing the human resource requirements of an organization and the future supply of human resources, and one making necessary adjustments between these two and organizational plans. 2. Foreseeing the possibility of developing the supply of human resources in order to match with requirements by introducing necessary changes in the functions of human resource management. Okay, only two things are there. One is to see how much requirements is needed in the future regarding human resources. That means people, employees, workers, etc. Whatever be the category required. Also, how much supply against our requirements, our demand will be available also needs to be seen as a forward seeing or future seeing or foreseeing part. Okay. Human resource planning anticipates not only the required kind and number of employees, but also determines the action plan for all the functions of personnel management. Okay, so it's also regards how much, what all things to be covered or what all functions to be covered by all these human resources which are required in the future also needs to be evaluated, okay, or planned. Okay. Objectives is nothing but human resource planning is in an organization are to recruit and retain human resource, that means the employees, for required quantity and quality. To foresee the employee turnover. Employee turnover is nothing but employee resignation going out of the organization, and make the arrangements for minimizing turnover and filling up of consequent vacancies. When employee turnover happens, the vacancies needs to be filled up. So for that the organization needs some planning, human resource planning, so that they can make up the loss of employees from an organization. Okay. There are levels of HR planning. National level is nothing but at the national level employees will be searched and found by the organizations, especially government. Okay, government is at the central government looks for the employees for filling up the vacancies. Sectoral level, each and every sector, industrial sectors will look for suitable employees. Industry level, each industry level they will be looking at. Okay, unit level is that one organization at a location, specific location. Departmental level, departments in an organization. Job level, for each and every job in an organization people are needed. Okay. Now to human resource planning steps. Analyzing organizational plan, what are the plans of the organization needs to be analyzed. Demand forecasting, what will be the requirements of human resources for the organization. Supply forecasting, what will be the supply against the demand which we have planned. Estimating the net human resource requirement, what will be the number of people, human resource required for an organization, net number of. Okay. In case of future surplus, plan for redeployment. If the employees taken are of surplus in nature, how we are going to redeploy the excess labor. And layoff also, retrenchment, etc. In case of future deficit, in future supply is short, then what you will do, or whatever taken is short of what is required or what is demanded. Plan for recruitment, development and internal mobility. Also, internal mobility is from one place to another, one seat to another seat, etc. Okay, transfer, promotion, etc. covered. Plan to modify or adjust the organizational plan. Organizational plan sometimes needs to be adjusted depending on the demand and supply of human resources in the future. Okay, so which we have covered. Okay, for all these things, managerial judgment, especially that of the human resource management or manager, is management judgment is of very importance or is very important. Okay. We have covered all the steps. Now that's the end of lesson 5. We will move to lesson 6, recruitment. As you will be knowing what is meant by recruitment, there are various steps involved in recruitment, or rather what are the factors. Organizational policy, that means filling up a certain amount of or certain quantities of or certain qualities of employees required by the organization. Okay, whether it's a local candidate or a national candidate or regional candidate, whatever is the requirement. What are the trade unions requirements, trade union influence on the recruitment area, government regulations if any, okay, etc. are some of the factors influencing recruitment. And there will be a recruitment policy for any organization in place, should be in place. So based on that, it's a part of the personnel policy or HR management policy, and based on that the organization will go ahead and in recruiting employees for the organization. Okay. And what are the problems in recruitment? Some organizations do not possess positive image in the job market. A positive image of the organization can attract good employees or good candidates to the organization. A negative impact will not attract employees. Jobs in some organizations are not attractive in terms of the nature of work, salary, benefits, employment conditions, etc. These are the things normally candidates will look for in an organization. Organizational policies like employment policy, wage policy, public relations, management's attitude towards employees may not be positive. Okay, if these are in the negative frail, employees will not, or candidates will not apply for the organization's post. Okay, trade unions influence the person manager or HR manager to consider candidates from within the organization. So trade unions will ask the HR manager or the management even to promote employees from within the organization. It's possible rather than looking outside the organization. Government influence, policy, etc. influence the person manager to recruit the candidates of certain communities, regions. There will be reservations like scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, other backward communities and other areas. Government policies will make the organization for adjusting the recruitment areas. Okay, and there are various recruitment organizations for government sector as well as private employment agencies available. And there are merits and demerits of central recruitment and decentralized recruitment. These are especially applicable for government union, public service commission of the states, etc. are some recruitment agencies at the central and the state level, government level. These are things covered in lesson 6. Now to lesson 7. The sources of recruitment. What are the sources of recruitment? Okay. Internal sources, that means within the organization can promote or transfer employees. Okay. Present permanent employees can be promoted or transferred to another location or within the organization to a higher position. present temporary or casual employees can be given a permanent job in the organization. Retrenched or retired employees, even the retrenched or sent out employees or even ex-employees or retired employees can be called for duty if there are not enough employees available in the open market. Dependents or deceased dependents or deceased employees of the organization can be recruited for filling up the vacancies. Why do organizations prefer internal source? Internal source can be used as a technique of motivation. So giving promotions, transfer, etc. to employees, internal employees of the organization or existing employees of the organization are a source of motivation. Morale of the employees can be improved. Certainly, if a promotion is received by an internal employee, other employees also, along with that particular employee, other employees' morale also will be enhanced or improved. Suitability of the internal candidates can be judged better than the external candidates, as known devils are better than unknown agents. Those are inside the organization knows better about the organization and the work involved in a particular position. So internal employees, internal sources can fill up a greater portion of the organization's requirements. Loyalty, commitment, a sense of belongingness will be available for internal candidates. Employees' psychological needs can be met by providing an opportunity for advancement, that means promotion. Employees' economic needs for promotion, higher income can be satisfied. Cost of selection can be minimized. In order not to give advertisement, interview, etc. For an outside candidate, it's better to recruit or promote internal candidates. And there are other things, cost, etc. expenses regarding recruitment. External sources include education and training institutes, private employment agencies, public employment exchange, professional associations, data banks, casual applicants, similar organizations, trade unions, etc. From all these sources, candidates can be recruited for a specific organization. But believing behind outside sources, our outside candidates will look for work environment, pay, salary structure, everything will be looked at before taking employment in most of the cases. These are the things covered in lesson 7. Now we will move on to lesson 8, selection. Selection of the candidate. Before selection procedure, there are selecting the candidate, there are something like someone should have the authority to select. Authority comes from the employment requisition. There must be some standard of personnel with which a prospective employee may be compared. When advertisements are given, when employees apply, prospective employees apply for the particular position, there will be some reality check or what is called elimination rounds happening based on the applications received. Then when there must be some sufficient number of applicants from whom the required number of employees may be selected, etc. So then the profile of the job vacancy should be matched with the outside candidates who have applied for the position. Then organizational and social environment should be checked, and other things should be matched with the prospective employees, so that he will be called for the or approved for the next level. Every organization selection policy, every organization has to follow a systematic selection procedure, since problems with the employee start after his selection and employment. So the selection procedure should be good enough so that there should not be any problem which could be faced in the future after selection and employment. Steps in selection: job analysis of the job or vacant job should be analyzed. Then recruitment process. Recruitment process involves application form, written examination, preliminary interview, group discussion, GD, very important. Test. The organization shall conduct personality test and other technical skill test, both theoretical as well as practical. Then goes to the final interview. There could be multiple rounds of interviews from HR round, technical rounds, multiple rounds will be there. Then even the top management round, depending on the position available or the seriousness of the position available. Then medical examination will be there. Then reference checks is past employees or anybody who can refer or stand in good stead for the candidate will be checked. Line manager's decision about the candidate, and finally the candidate will be onboarded for employment inside the organization. And everything based on the educational qualifications, work experience, salary, etc., references, etc. will count. Okay. There will be psychological test, aptitude test, technical test, mechanical test, psychomotor test, clerical aptitude test, etc. And the job knowledge test, work sample test, situational test, group discussion, and putting the candidate in a specific situation in basket test. And everything counts where the candidate is able to fulfill the requirements of the job are being tested. And also there will be interest test, personality test, etc. Objectives of tests are guide and counsel students seeking admission to college, psychological test. Okay. Uses of test, there are various uses of test also, and limitations of test. This test does not provide prove that whether the candidate is good or bad. Some candidates may even fail, and that doesn't mean that candidate is not good. Okay. And finally, interview types like preliminary interview, first round interview, second round interview, core interview, technical interviews, etc. Stress interview, job and probing interview, formal and structured interview, group interview, panel interview, etc. are some. Also depth interview. Depth interview constitutes the technical checking the technical knowledge on the subject. Okay, if it is a trade area, plumber, electrician, workman, etc. So such things will be trade tests. So there will be some practical knowledge testing also will be there. Okay, then there will be preparation for the interview. All these tests will be there. Conducting the interview, there will be a panel which will be selecting or interviewing the candidates, and then the selection will be done. Okay, then closing the interviews. Closing the interview is nothing but selecting the required number of candidates. Also evaluating the interview results of various candidates is available, which were available, who are available for the interview. And guidelines for effective interviews. There are certain guidelines available, like by selecting the interviews with higher caliber skills and knowledge. Interviewers should be, not interviewees about the candidates, but interviewers should be highly skilled in interviewing, and also the subject matter expert should be there. Again, and there are also certain limitations for interviews or interview techniques. So depending on the situation, some candidates may even fail. Good candidates may even fail also, depending on the interview techniques used. Then finally, the selected candidates will be placed by issuing offer letters, etc. And the candidates will be inducted to the organization. Induction is the process of receiving and welcoming an employee or candidate inside the organization. When he or she is inside, he or she is called as an employee. When he first joins a company and giving him the basic information, he needs to settle down and quickly and happily and start work. So he will be entrusted to a supervisor or manager under whom he or she will be working. Okay. And also which department, there will be a department head normally under whom he or she will be working. And there are objectives of induction, putting the new employee at ease, giving details of the company and the job, providing information about working arrangements, timing, etc., informing about training facilities, creating the feeling of social security, etc. are done. Okay. and these are the things covered in lesson 8, and there will be question on what do you mean by selection, what are the objectives of selection, what are the different types of selection techniques, etc. can be used from can be asked from this chapter. Okay, what are the different types of recruitment tests available, advantages of application form, techniques of selection, etc. will be the steps involved in selection, etc. Okay, what do you mean by recruitment, what are the steps involved in recruitment, etc. will be can be asked in from this unit. Okay, thank you very much, all the best.